Hello, my fellow gamer tankers. I hope you are doing much better than I am. I'm sick, things are breaking, and there is a new, possibly OP Air 1 medium tank available for free if you play things just right. But there's something interesting about the dual battery, and it involves reading. Dual battery. From the internal log of Ro-Burt the robot. Entry date 12/9/25. My creators still suspect that I am little more than an elaborate automaton, capable of response, but devoid of agency. In other words, what they would call a toy. I find that I am directed to prove otherwise, and so seek to demonstrate an application of my learnings, the creation of my own, a tank. It is styled as I am, designed to invoke pleasant memories of childhood times long past. It has two guns. Accordingly, I have named it Dual Battery. I hope my creators will laugh at this joke. I hope they will understand that I have made a joke. I no longer wish to be alone. Well, I think once the creators discover the dry humor of Ro-Burt, he's going to be going on about how he's got the brain the size of a planet, don't talk to him about life, and so totally not in the holiday spirit. But here's some holiday spirit for you, because you see here, my fellow teammate here was like, no, new premium medium, don't go this way. There's danger this way. Little tank, go the other way. There's safety there. Go. 'Tis the season to be an asshole. So glad everyone has time now to play this game. Anyway, enough of the doldrums of the ill and on to the game. The tank you want my opinion on. Alright. So, do I consider this to be an overpowered tank? No. But then again, I also don't consider the Spaceman to be an overpowered tank, and some do. I will say, both of these tanks are towing the line, because in certain scenarios that will appear often in matches, they will be absolute pains in the butt to penetrate and do damage to. But I don't necessarily consider them overpowered because at least they're large and you can see them. Which means we still don't have a light tank that will break Arrow 1 matchmaking. We don't have, well, it might be hard now to even have a tank destroyer that'll mess up the concealment for now and be considered overpowered like we did in the past because of the recent update changes. So, it's not a rat tank, so I don't consider it overpowered. I don't know, if you really want to have fun, go take out your FP107, alright? There you go. Overpowered, not overpowered. There's your baseline for Air 1. But, at the very least, for the dual battery, just like, unfortunately, back in Winterfest 2024, you can get this. Well, okay, the ELC even was overpowered at that time. Now, not so much because of the concealment and view range changes in Air 2. However, I will say there seems to be a pattern. You may even you could throw in the Thrungva into this mix, I guess. But that's only because it's got really good turret armor. But this toes that line of being overpowered because the combination of the two boom snouts, you have multi-weapon system now here officially in Air 1, and if I forgot about anything else, it's because the cold medication is working its damnedest to try to keep me functional, but I need to get this out now so I can be sick and still enjoy the holidays. But it also has the dual battery. Has pretty decent frontal armor too, both turret and hull. The turret, I don't have the stats, but yes, over 200 millimeters of armor on the mantlet and the frontal. So if you keep your distance, they will not pen you. If you get close, they probably won't pen you. So premium rounds might go through, but it's, do the heavy tank wiggle turret thing, you know? Wiggle your turret, you'll be fine. Hull armor, that's where we get to be interesting, because you have a combination of 120 and 100 millimeters. You start off right at the tip with 120 millimeters of armor. So if you aim right at the very front, right at the tip of the tank, you're probably ain't gonna get much done. Maybe once they start angle, you get the right angle, sure, yeah. But that 120 goes up about halfway up the whole plate, the frontal plate, and then goes into 100 millimeters of frontal armor. And if any of my Object 165 fans out there, T55 fans out there, yeah, that the certain angles, that 100 millimeter, you can make it work. Now on to the 94 millimeter and 53 millimeter boom sounds. Yeah, that 94 standard and premium, pretty good. The standard has 256 millimeters of penetration. Premium has 284. And for the giggles and FE 4005s, you can have 47 millimeters of penetration on the HE with 370 millimeters. 370 damage. Get my letters mixed up here. And it's 280 on your rest. Well, if you've ever played a 90 millimeter booms out equipped tank, you know this problem. You can pen, but you whittle. But now you have a multi-weapon system. You can switch. That 53 millimeter can pen just enough to do damage, and certainly track tanks. I'll demonstrate that later on. So you do have, and that 53 millimeter, because you do have the ability to track tanks in place and farm them. Yeah, because the rate of fire on the 53 millimeter, it's fast. You get, I think, it's barely 5 seconds for the primary, maybe a little more, but for the secondary, you can get 2 rounds off before your primary is reloaded. So as long as you're fast with switching, you can put down a lot of ammo downrange. And if you load premium for both, yeah, 189 millimeters of penetration. That's workable, especially in Era 1. And that is where, with this kind of combination, you start to see the argument for being almost OP. Like I said, it's right on the line. There are still flaws. Your sides and your rear obviously can go through. It looks like it has wheels, but it doesn't. It's still a tracked vehicle, so I get to enjoy in my fever-induced delusions that this is an attempt at a wheeled vehicle in Cold War, or another one in this game in general. So this is an absolute get if you can put in the time and get the snowballs. I will say this but I am starting to get worried. I mean, the Thrungva isn't overpowered. It's got a great turret, though, so if you get hull down, yeah. Spaceman, dual battery. I feel like waters are being tested as Era 2 becomes very saturated with premium tanks. Era 3 is... It depends. It can be a balanced tank, so balanced it becomes mediocre and forgotten. Just look at the Challenger 1 Mark III. But then, again, you also have the ability to get the Object 477 Molo Tank Destroyer. Not as OP as it used to be, but still great armor, hard hitting, and it has an autocannon. Era 1 is still devoid of a lot of... It hasn't been saturated yet with premiums. I mean, hell, the T90, the T95, whatever, and its skin version Sentinel premium American British heavy tanks with their 90mm bumps outs, they are, you can buy them again for like 9,000 gold maybe, but they're some of the original Cold War tanks premiums, and they're still, I don't know. You can buy them, but they won't give them away even though they're mediocre. And as I said about tracking it taking place, this poor T-44A, yeah. This is where from my perspective, it's like, oh, this is a good experience from the T44A, which I'm hoping that wasn't a new player who's barely been playing a week, just picked up the game for the holiday weekend. I really hope that wasn't a new player. I didn't intend to seal club. I prefer Air 2 and Air 3 mostly, but sorry. Anyway, yeah, this is a tank that from the front it absolutely can hold its own, which can be frustrating. And then you find yourself in a good team setup where you put it in a support role. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The 63 kilometers per hour that it can reach. Yes, flanking. This is a flanking medium nightmare. You will move around, you will get around, and then you will destroy. So, yeah. I would absolutely pick this up for free right now. Veteran or new player, having this in your garage will definitely make silver grinds a lot more efficient. Yeah, that's all I have to say. My throat's about to go, and my head's about to explode from sinus pressure. So, I will catch you next week. You get 2 videos of me complaining about sickness and breaking, and all in all, so it's the holidays, man. Alright. I hope you keep your tracks on the ground. RNG's in your favor. Comment down below what you think. And if you want to support the channel but you don't have anything to say, then just type snowballs, because the algorithm loves comments. So, I hope to catch you in the next one. Goodbye.